as I understand it, there were 6 people that signed up for an election. And for some reason, the 3 were eliminated because of minor details on the application. And as a GOP Republican chairman for eight years, I've accepted the application. There was some minor things wrong. There was people put the wrong date and all kinds of stuff. I've always accepted them. The Secretary of State's office always says accept these applications. So I kind of feel cheated on the election that we didn't get our choice. And on minor details, I just can't understand why, if it's such a minor thing, why was it told out?
Thanks, sir.
All right.
Ms. Waldron.
I too will reiterate what Michael just said. And Mayor and Council, when you get to item number 3 and 4, I would like each of you to search your heart and your mind. Because we all know that there were 6 citizens of San Philip who turned in application. And for whatever reasons, only 3 were placed on the ballot. If the tables were turned on any of you or any of you, how would you feel? And I just ask you all, before you vote on this very, very important matter, to search your heart and your mind before you vote. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Item number 3, discussion possible action to approve the certification of unopposed candidates for the town of San Felipe's May 2nd, 2020 election.
Excuse me, I signed up to speak also.
You signed up, okay, you just said election, I didn't see number 3. Yes, sir.
I did put a number on it.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Is it okay now?
Yes, sir, you got the floor.
Mr. Mayor, Town Council, February 7th, I turned in my application to run as alderman for San Felipe Alderman. I was received by the election judge at that point in time and commented that it looked in order. On February 14th, though, a week later, the deadline for submitting the application, it was rejected. I was here at the town council meeting on February 11th. Prior to that, nothing was said to me about there being a problem on my application. This is my application. This is the front page. The reason why it was rejected, because my name was in the wrong box. It says, I did not say what I was running for. This is the rejection letter. I did not say what position I was running for. The position says right here, my name. It says right here what I'm running for, Alderman, Town of San Felipe, with my name there. If you look at the state of Texas, the election code, I would encourage you to do so. And nowhere on there says, on that election code, that the name has to be in this box. This form that I turned in was downloaded from the state of Texas for the election commission. And I filled it out and turned it in. If you read the election code, it says that it has to have their name, has to have the position that they are running for in the town, and all the legal information pertaining to that individual, which I submitted. The reason for it was rejected, according to the letter, was my name was in the wrong spot. That is wrong. And I take that as a citizen to be very hurtful. Most people here know each other by first name. We know the election judge by first name here. And to be rejected when they could have told me on February 11th, look, your name is in the wrong spot, would you correct this before I reject that? If they would have told me, oh, they had happily done that. But nothing was said to me about that. Also, on February 20th, their letter was mailed 11 days after I submitted my application that my being rejected. I received it on February 11th. I have the stamped envelope. I'm a Christian first. I believe we should follow what is right and what is truth first. And I believe you chose to open this meeting tonight with prayer, meaning you have a belief in a higher authority for what is right and what is wrong. And this is wrong. Flat out, it is wrong. Life is a test. We are being tested on what we choose to do, what is right and what is wrong. And this is flat out wrong. To reject individuals because of typo, reject individuals, even the state says they encourage you not to do that to avoid litigation. If you look on the state website, they encourage you to correct it to avoid litigation in town council. I'm very disappointed in the election judge. I'm very disappointed in this town that you would allow that to happen. That should not happen when we all know each other in this town. To have the opportunity to run, to be elected, or be rejected in that election, if that would be the case by the citizens. But at least have that opportunity to do so. And to approve this nomination process tonight, it's very interesting that there are 3 positions open and 3 choice candidates all of a sudden are the only ones that are available to run. That's just not right. I choose though, that I'm not going to go any further with this other than pray for this council. And pray, because I believe it is through prayer that God will change things where council cannot change things. And I believe God will change things. But I would encourage you to search out, before you vote, read the state guides on elections. Know what is right. I encourage you to do so. Just don't vote because you think you want to go this way or that way without knowing what is right and what is wrong. This is wrong. I thank you for my time. I will pray, I promise, I will pray for this council. I will pray for you, Mr. Mayor, and I hope this council will do what is right.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, sir.
Bobby, Mayor, mine was actually number 3 also. I'm sorry I did 4, I got confused with the number. I could address on 4 also, but
Excuse me?
I could do either, I mean, it really mine is addressing number 3 also. I didn't know.
So you want to do 3 or 4?
3's fine, please.
Okay.
Do you mind, please?
No, ma'am. You got
Okay,
the
thank you. I'm not gonna stand here and cast first stone, okay? However, I like Jeff, I believe that you all are hired or you're elected to serve this town, that you're entrusted. You're entrusted with things that don't belong to you, so you are even held to a higher standard. It appears that at every meeting of late, some type of inappropriate dealings have been brought to the surface. It seemed like everything from the town audit revealing inconsistency with how town funds are spent, to improper annexations of properties into the town, and now we have issues with the elections. From what I can see from the proposed ballot for the May election, it appears that the citizens of San Philip are not able to vote for who they want for the city council. That right to vote for the people to represent us was taken away by the election judge. Is it right to keep people who have a legal right and the opportunity from running from office? Why is this? What's the explanation for it? Is it an attempt to cover up something that's going on? It appears to be very suspicious. Who can be trusted in this town with our tax money, resources, and now the election? Where's the integrity, the ethics, the moral foundation of San Philip? Does it exist? On a related note, and no disrespect to Alderman Hall, but personally I believe he should abstain from voting any issues related to the West Lake. He runs cattle on city property, possibly for profit, and it's a conflict of interest. I feel like any
Hold on one
folks.
second.
You're right, I got out of order,
You can
Bobby,
way
I
out of order.
apologize, okay.
Way
So
out
are
of
the
order.
people, but I do want to address that at another time, okay, please. Are the people on the council and administration only serving their own interests? Are things being done to only benefit those in power?
Hold on, Ms.
When
Ziegler.
this is
Hold on, Ms.
encouraged-
Ziegler.
I'm finished.
Now, are you going to address this topic that we're fixing to vote on?
Yes.
Or, well, then you
Yes.
better address it in a hurry, because all of this is way off the topic.
Okay, maybe I was better on number 4. That might have been
Wherever
better.
you need to be.
Yeah, that might have been better. But bottom line is, if we're benefiting only those in power, when it is occurring, it often feels more like communism in San Philip than democracy.
Thank you. Before we discuss this topic, I have something that I would like to say. I wasn't gonna say anything on this topic. No, ma'am, I'm gonna say something to my wife. I'm glad we brought up Christianity. I have been attacked on this council for the last 5 years. Facebook has attacked everyone on this council for the last 3 years. I have not said one negative word about anybody up here on Facebook, not one. But we want to talk about Christianity tonight. The Bible says, judge not lest ye be judged. I read these Facebook pages and I see who's commenting on it. Some of these very people who are telling us about Christianity tonight are saying all these ugly and negative remarks about people up here. That's the reason the town's getting a bad name. We do see each other every day. And I grew up in this town with Mr. Ralph Silver. Everybody else in this town helped each other. We didn't crucify each other and talk about each other behind our backs. So if we're gonna talk about Christianity, let's not just talk about it tonight. Let's live it and talk about it all the time, not just when it suits you. I haven't seen one person come up here and stand up and say, be quiet.
Do what is right.
I haven't seen one person come up here. I gave you the floor, let me speak. I haven't seen one person come up here and say, y'all get off of Facebook and quit talking about all your council members. No, hold on, I got the floor now.
Point of order.
I got the floor.
Point of order.
Point of order, nothing.
Point of order.
I let them talk.
Oh, Bobby.
The old Bobby, yeah, it's
Yes.
Bobby now, cause I
That
can't.
doesn't return phone calls.
I didn't
either.
get a message from you to return a phone call. You know
Yes,
where I
you
live.
did.
You know where I live, Miss West.
Yes, you did. I left a message.
All I'm saying is, if we're gonna talk about that tonight, let's be Christians all of the time. Not just when it's convenient.
Absolutely right.
Council, number 3 is on the floor.
Well, I have an issue. I was also told the same thing that you were told. The item was checked, the office saw it, was not on the application. But I talked to the Secretary of State's office. I've been talking with them. It clearly says on the application, just under with my signature, that I am running for alderman in the town. The Secretary of State, basically where we're at is I filed a complaint with the Secretary of State's office. I don't believe that it was a mistake that I was eliminated and rejected. There's clear evidence that the rules, the way that the rules are with the election law, they weren't followed. The notices, the timelines weren't followed. And so I filed a criminal complaint and asked for a criminal investigation with the Secretary of State's office. And multiple people have done that. And there's an investigation that's ongoing now into that, to look into it. So I'm gonna make a motion that this gets tabled till next month, pending the outcome of the investigation by the Secretary of State's office, and let them have a chance to respond on all this, because they have all the information in front of them and are looking at it. So that's my motion. Yep.
Go ahead.
I too turned in my application. I still to date have not received a letter in the mail per the Secretary of State's guidelines indicating why I was rejected. I had to FOIA the applications to find out why I was rejected. It was a clerical error, I admit. We all make them from time to time. My concern about that is that a clerical error should not disqualify somebody from being able to run for an office when it clearly states in the law, and I'm going to read it so it's not my words, it's the Secretary of State. The Texas Supreme Court has held that candidates who made timely filings, whose petitions were accepted, and all 3 of the ones disqualified were accepted by the election judge with her signature and the date and time, could not be rejected later for minor clerical errors that could have been fixed had the candidate been notified for the defect. There are 2 law cases with the Texas Supreme Court that clarify that information. It's all on the Secretary of State's website. Anybody can have access to that. I too have filed a complaint with the Secretary of State. To my knowledge, the 3 complaints have not received final notification from the Secretary of State of their determination of those complaints and the timelines. I think in all fairness to the 3 people whose applications were accepted and 2 have a right to run, and the 3 applicants that were rejected that should have had a right to correct their applications, correct their clerical errors, and run, and let the people decide who they want to sit on their city council. These 2 items should be tabled until the Secretary of State has finished their investigation. I think that's fair to all 6 people so that everybody has a chance to run. That's my thoughts.
I have one other thought, and that is that Cynthia Kelly and myself are a little bit different from everyone else that was running. The reason that Cynthia and I noticed what we thought were financial irregularities, we began researching them. That led to the auditor confirming some of our concerns. And I think that we are, by law, whistleblowers. We're protected by state law. and I believe I'm being retaliated against
Now, you gonna tell me point of order, now listen,
for my involvement in that investigation. And it has to do with it, because I feel like I'm being targeted.
No, you're not being
So that's the reason, and we do have a Secretary of State is going to review it, so.
But we voted to have the audit passed.
My,
So
But
it
you
wasn't-
passed it without direction.
my motion
That's two
stands.
different things.
Did you, you didn't notice on the secretary?
No, I haven't got anything to Secretary of State.
Well, my motion stands.
Okay, I got a motion on the floor from Alderman McAllister, that this be tabled.
So that's fine.
I second that motion.
Okay, we moved in second. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all those opposed? Okay, I got 2 for, 3 opposed.
That's what you call election engineering, folks.
No, see, that's
Y'all need to calm down, okay?
No, exactly right.
Item number 3 is still on the table.
I make a motion to go ahead and approve the certification of the Police County with South San Francisco.
I have a motion on the floor from Alderman Hall.
I'll second.
I have a second from Alderman Daddy. All of those in favor? I have. All those opposed?
Aye.
I have Gentry, Hall, and Daddy for. I have Kelly and McAllister opposed. Motion carries. Item number 4. Discussion and action to adopt ordinance number 2020-3. An ordinance declaring unopposed candidates in the town of San Felipe May the 2nd, 2020 general city officers election, elected to office, providing for cancellation of the election, and providing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. I have a motion on the floor by Alderman Hall that we adopt ordinance 2020-3. Second by Alderman Gentry. All of those in favor? Those opposed?
Aye.
I have the same 3 for, 2 opposed. Item number 11, comments and future agenda items.
Just for the record, none of the other city council members even looked at the documents that I have that show what the Secretary of State said, so you made those decisions without even looking at the information.
Any other comments?
Just want to comment about as far as, the thing that was happening, that they had said that I wasn't in the city of San Felipe. I went down to the taxes and stuff, I have been paying my taxes for 10 years, school taxes, road taxes, and they said that I have all the privilege of anyone else in the city of San Felipe to vote, to run for anything, and I have all the rights the same as everybody else did. Because they went through the whole thing, showed me the whole thing, showed me all my tax items paid for the past 10 years. And then I'm not able to vote or have to resign from this position. That was not true. They told me it wasn't true. And so the person that called me out the last meeting, I'm not gonna call them out. They know who they are, and I'm not gonna call them out.